We refresh. Check that. Okay, that's good. And we refresh. Oh, all right, that's us. Check that. Okay, that's good. And we refresh. Oh, all right, that's us. All right, my volume still sounds a little low, but not so low as to be, horrible. So we're going to get into this. All right, let's talk. We're going to talk about 4 terms that we need to know and apply. The first one is going to be compounding, and we're going to give examples. The second one will be a dividend growth. Let me try to adjust the mic, bring it in just a little closer. The third one will be doubling, and the fourth one will be velocity. All right, we're going to use some examples. This shouldn't take too long. First one up, compounding. It's pretty simple. Banks use it. That's how they make a lot of money off of us when they loan us money. It's just taking the money generated by a thing, you put it back in that thing, so now that thing is bigger, so the next time you get a return, the return is bigger. We're going to use SpyT for this example. All right, so I didn't pay attention to which page I need to be pulling up here. Nope. Here. Oh, do I only have the one right now? No. I had one hiding behind the other. Oh no. Guys, I am butchering this all up. We need you come over here because we're working with one page here. We're working with one page. All right, let's take SpyT. Oh, while I'm sitting here floundering, if you wouldn't mind reaching down, tagging that like button maybe, or that dislike button, and subscribing, that'd be kind of cool. SpyT dividend history. Boom. I like to use the NASDAQ here, very much so. All right. So what are we talking about on compounding? Let's assume that this stock doesn't really go up or down in price very much. I know, we like it when stocks go up. But this is kind of, you bought it at 20, it stayed 20. Yes, it goes up and down, but SpyT kind of lives at 20. So it makes the math easy, right? Makes the math easy. And we see that SpyT has about a 20% dividend yield. Your $20 stock will pay you $4 a year. So let's take a look at that. 20 USD for div annual. Yeah, we'll just do AN. All right. So what does this mean? This means that SpyT pays every month. All right. $4 is annual. Calculators over here. 4 divided by 12. I'm going to pay you 33 cents a month. 30 div monthly. Okay. So that means what's going to happen is it's going to be the declaration date. They're going to tell you 33 cents is upcoming. The X date you have to own before the X date to qualify. The record date saying, yes, this man is qualified, and re-recorded it. And then the day we all love, the pay date. Here's your 33 cents, sir. And now your one share at 20 has turned into 1 point whatever shares. We're not going to do the actual math here. At 2033. Boom. Nice and easy. Let's actually do the math. Fine. Chat GBT, come do some math for me because I am lazy. I don't need the 4.0, guys. I need the cheap one. Yo, chat. I have a 20 USD value stock. I received a monthly dividend of 33. I bought the stock again with that 33. How many shares with fractional do I now own? And we'll let ChatGPT sort it out. Boom, a boom. Doing the math, processing. Ha, yes. ChatGTP is going 0165. So the next time we get paid 33 cents, so the next month, 33 div, but not times 1, now times 1.0165. So let's see what that looks like. Let's see what that looks like. Where'd my calculator go? We're having fun with numbers, and these are actual numbers. So 0.33 times 1.0165. Boom! 33.5 cents. Now, your first month on one share, that might not mean anything. But the next month, that 33 is now 66. You tick over the half, you're getting 34. Next month, you're getting 35. Next month, you're getting 36. It slowly adds into itself to pay you more. Okay, cool. Well, let's take something like SCHD. Because now that we see compounding, well, how can we make compounding better? When we make compounding better with something like SCHD, we make it better with dividend growth. So we see here $3 and 1.8 cents a year at a 10.29 rate. Well, let's do some math here. We're going to use the last 4 to represent a year. Or actually, we're not. Watch this. 3.018 minus the 0.7545 minus the 0.8241 minus the 0.611. The next payment should be 82.84 cents. We know they have paid we know their target is 301.8 per share. We see that. Okay, cool. Well, who cares? Well, let's keep 301 in our mind. So that was here. Let's do the previous year. 0.7423 plus 0.6647 plus 0.5965 plus 0.734. Boom. $2.70.69. That's a whopping 31 cents less. 31.09 less, actually. So in 2023, you got paid $2.70 for your share of SCHD. But in 2024, you're getting paid $3.01. It has a dividend growth rate of 9 to 12%, depending on the year. Okay? Well, okay, cool. What's 10% then? $3.30. In 2025, you should be getting about $3.30 a share if they continue at that growth rate. So, without paying any more money, the same one share that you already paid for back in 2023 went from paying you $2.70 to paying you $3 to now paying you $3.30. So it takes less payments to, or it has more compounding effect. I was about to get into doubling. We're going to go back to SPY-T for doubling because the increase in the growth rate will make the math difficult for me, and I is caveman. So now we understand compounding. We understand how dividend growth can positively impact compounding. That's awesome. So what's this idea with doubling? Doubling is exactly what it sounds like. I have 10 of a thing. How long for that thing to pay and reinvest into itself to have 20 of that thing, to double it? Now I have 20 of that thing. We don't have to do any extra math for doubling again unless we're dealing with something that has a dividend growth rate. If it's static, then yeah, it just keeps doubling over the same amount of time. So take something with a 20% yield, okay? 20%. And say that it is $10, which means that the annual yield paid to you is going to be $2. So at 20%, this means 5 years to reinvest, right? That 2, boom, to have 10, to have doubled. And then every 5 years, now I have 20. In 5 years, I'll have 40. In another 5 years, I will have 80. But what's exciting isn't the doubling rate after your first double, because that's going to stay static, that's linear. What's exciting is it took us 5 years to turn that 10 into 20, okay? But how long to get another 10? How long for another 10? Because remember, we deposited money to invest in that first 10. We did not deposit money to get that second 10. That second 10 is reinvestment off of the dividends. It paid for itself to double. So how long to get another 10? Well, we now have 20 of the thing paying 20%. So a yield of 4 now. 4, 8. Oh, look at that. We're already over. We already have another 10 in less than 3 years. Boom, that quickly. So then you would have 30 of a thing. So 6 a year. And you need to get 10 to get another 10, right? Oh, 6, 12. Oh, it didn't even take 2 years, a little over a year. Now you've already stacked from 10 to 40. Every cycle becomes faster. It just revolves faster and faster. And that's super exciting. That's what we're looking for. Well, if we like things doubling, and if we like things going faster and faster, what is velocity? Velocity is making your money go fast. But like, what does that actually mean? It basically means instead of using drip on something and it buying more of itself, and then you see that play out in the next month or quarter, you instead find the next payer. But that money there, put that money there and get a new return sooner. So instead of saying, okay, SPYT paid me $2. Yay! I invest 2 into SPYT. Next month, SPYT pays me to whatever. We'll call it 210, just for examples, right? Compounding, yes? Cool, we understand that. This is DRIP, Dividend Reinvestment Program, okay? What that stands for. Instead, you use a weekly payout, something like WiMAX. Oh, let's go take a look at WiMAX. You see it pays weekly, 7, 14, 21, 29, boom, 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 every week, every week, every week. That's getting your money back and getting another return faster than monthly, 4, sometimes 5 times a month, instead of one payment 30 days later. Every 7 days, returns are happening. Or, what else can we do? Well, probably easier to use here. YieldMax has set it up where they have 4 different groups: A, B, C, and D. And each one pays. We loosely say pays first week, second week, third week, and fourth week, but this is not technically correct because there's 52 weeks in a year. Sometimes there are 5 weeks in a month. It throws that little saying off. But you do know A pays, then B pays, then C pays, then D pays. So what you would do, you would have something like YBIT, Tesla, TSMY, maybe SNOY. These are the kind of good ones right now. And it would pay a dividend. You would take that dividend and not put it here where you had to wait a month for that new money to make you more money. You would put it in PLTY, NVDY. That's about it here. And then that following week, PLTY or NVDY, which you just made a little bit bigger by investing the dividends from Group A into, is going to pay a little bit more than it would have without that payment. Then you take that payment and you come here, probably Ulti, maybe Coney. Pi is kind of good. Okay. That one's going to be a little bit larger now because you just put this, and instead of waiting 30 days for NVDY to be bigger and pay itself again, NVDY said, no, take this money and get me more money next week. And that's what it does. And then this one will spit it out, and you'll turn around and you'll get Misty. There's no debate. There's nothing else here. Misty, that's the one. Okay? At least for now, at least in this current ongoings. And then Misty will turn around and make a payment, and it'll go into whatever you picked here. And that way, instead of having to wait 30 days for the money you just collected to make you more money, that money is already making you money 7 days later. And there are variations on this. All right, let's go back to the notepad for variations. Variations. One is just weekly. What? Just weeklies. YMAX, YMAG, RDTE, XDTE, QDTE, something that pays weekly. It feeds itself. Its next payment is always next week. Always next week. Always next week. That's velocity. That's fast. You don't get faster than weekly. Or you can A, B, C, D. We just did an example of that. Group A pays B, Group B pays C, Group C pays D, Group D pays A. Oh, well, we just went over weeklies and we just went over A, B, C, D. Why are we going over this again? Because you can combination. So here you could do something like 80-20 rule. A pays B 80% and weekly 20%. B pays C 80% and weekly 20%. D or C pays D 80% and weekly 20%. D pays A 80% and weekly 20%. Weekly pays weekly 50% and the next group 50%. So if A is paying B, weekly is paying itself half of its own return, and it's paying B half of its own return. And now everything is putting money into the next payer, and everything is putting money into the weekly payer. So there's all kind of, maybe you don't want 80-20, maybe you want 50-50, maybe you want 90-10, maybe you want to do something like 45% to the weekly, 45% to the next group. That's 90%, 10% to my bank account, or 10% to a different type of stock, like SCHD, O, SPYT, right, to help generate something else. All I'm saying is that there are all kind of different strategies you can employ when you understand compounding, dividend growth, doubling, and velocity. None of this is like PhD level stuff. This is all pretty basic concepts that we can grasp, and if we use them together, we can create really powerful movements within our portfolio. Okay? So that's been it, guys. I just wanted to go over a few things here, and it's been real, it's been fun, it's even been real fun. Once again, for the outro, please like and subscribe, all of that good jive for the algo of rhythms. It's been fun, it's been real, it's been me, the Climb to One. We're signing off.